Hey guys, hope everyone is having a wonderful day. So, in this episode or video, we're going to just skim through the book of Thinking Fast and Slow. It's one of the classics, and it's a beautiful book related to how humans think and the psychology behind our thoughts. And this is written by Daniel Kahneman, and of course, it has some beautiful takeaways, which I feel it's really interesting, and it's pretty informative. I should say that. So yeah, let's get into it. And once again, welcome to the channel, Knowledge Central, and here we share, of course, all the knowledge and things which I've learned from past few years related to a lot of different aspects. So please like and follow for getting in line with my videos. So yeah, let's get started. So as usual, let me go with the favorite quote from the author, and this is one of my all-time favorites, I should say. And it goes like, nothing in life is as important as you think while you're thinking about it. So he kind of puts everything into context by giving the weightage to a particular thought. And if we think that, okay, a particular thing is gonna be tough, it's just your thoughts which are actually making it tough. But maybe if you give it a deeper thought, and maybe once the thing has been gone, or once you achieve it, it might not be as important as you would have thought that it would be. And that's really kept me thinking. So it's all in our thoughts, and we need to be careful in what we think and the way we think. And is it really that important, or is it really that challenging? So we need to have a little bit of critical edge towards our thoughts. So it's pretty nice. Take it in a little bit, and then probably, yeah, reflect on your thoughts as well. So moving on to some important insights which I learned through the book. The first and foremost is any of our behavior is determined by two systems. And he actually differentiates these two systems as fast and slow. And that's the whole book and is about. And the title clearly tells that. So it's the fast system and the slow system, and which he clearly kind of links it with us conscious and subconscious. So whichever happens really fast, especially it is in line also with our emotional part of the brain called amygdala. And whenever imagine instance where we get instantaneously happy, or we kind of say some words which are pretty sensitive, or we kind of triggers our emotions, and we kind of really quickly behave. And there are also other set of emotions where it kind of very quickly gets into our behavior. Like for example, something which we do with our subconscious mind, it's really really fast and really quick. And the other thing is something which is more conscious. Like it's not automatic, but if we do things by thinking about it, like for example, we give it a thought, we use logic, we use rationality. And for this part of the action or behavior, we use another part of the brain, which is located in front of us, called prefrontal cortex, front us in the front of our brain. So for different systems of thinking, we used different speeds, that it's a fast and slow, and it's biologically linked to our different parts of the brain, emotional part of the brain, and the rational and the logical part of the brain. So it's really nice to, take a moment and see what actually triggers a particular behavior. So is it something which you're consciously doing it? Is it something which you think rationally and take a decision on, or is it something automatic and subconscious? So, based on our beliefs or based on our previous incidents or something like that. So these are the two systems, our mind thinking. And one system, which is conscious, is a little slower. It's like slow thinking, and the other system is much more faster, instantaneous, and pretty automatic. So it comes through, your emotions, or, comes through beliefs or past experiences, etc. So we need to be aware of this as human beings. And based on it, we need to check whether what system are we really thinking about, or should I think, or should I give it more time, etc. So it's nice to distinguish between these two systems, and it's more important to be aware that there are two systems of thinking, as per the author here. Next up is kind of, saying some direct comment about our brain, which is also true. So our brain is always lazy, it always keeps us with a very high comfort. It tries to take instantaneous actions, which is the most comfortable for human beings. Especially imagine when our alarm rings in the morning, we immediately, or most of the people immediately snooze button, because it makes us a little bit lazy. Why? Because it gives us a little more comfort. You get a little more 15 minutes of extra sleep, and it just wants us to be more comfortable instantaneously, which is sometimes, or most of the times, not beneficial for long term. Like imagine you snooze and then this happens for months and years, and you kind of, especially after you wake up, there are a lot of brain functions and activities which are kicking in, and we kind of submerge that, and again snooze, and again alarm rings, and we again snooze and alarm rings. So we kind of mess up that, the wave transition, uh which are a little bit detailed and a little out of the scope, but it's not useful. And something similar is, for example, instead of cooking our own hot meal in the house, we kind of think to, constantly order food. Like for example, we have a lot of, options nowadays online, so our brain kind of, gets lazy and kind of triggers, okay, why not order food today? And then probably, which is also not healthy, because home cooked hot meals is much more healthier, preferably if you use the right ingredients. But otherwise, most of the times, the fast foods or the food which we order from outside, most of the restaurants might not be a definitely healthier option. So we need to also be aware of this. And our brain kind of makes us comfortable and makes sure that it doesn't use the full energy. So whenever we think, we use some energy, right? So there's cognitive workload happening, and our brain kind of course, if you put enough efforts, if you put enough, energy, of course, it's going to act and it's going to think intellectually, but we need to put that power into our brains. So immediately our brain thinks of the easy solution and a little bit more of a fast thinking, but we need to make sure that we give enough thought, give some critical thinking about our actions and behavior, make sure that we take the best decision, which are kind of useful for long term, and whichever makes us comfortable in the short run, I think we need to give it another thought about it. So make sure that you're aware of this as well. So finally, when we make decisions about something important, like for example, especially when it comes to money, we shouldn't involve emotion or emotional part of the brain into it. So instantaneous actions, for example, buying stocks or selling stocks, or for example, lending him some money, or etc., etc. So anything that deals with the money, make sure it's not very instantaneous and quick by using an emotional part of the brain, but try to keep that out and give it a thought whether I have enough savings money for at least 6 months down the line. Then use the rest of the money to do a lot of other things. For example, buying property, or starting your side hustle, business, etc. But make sure you that just give enough thought about it, because sometimes people make a little bit of irrational decisions, or say for example, will not give it a lot of thought, and especially use the fast part of the brain, a little bit quick decisions. Okay, I'm giving money and I'm getting money in that, sorry, so I'm going to put more, and then without doing the proper homework or studying the trends, and suddenly you might lose everything. So make sure that you don't get emotionally involved. Like for example, especially people get a little bit upset about stock market, and especially nowadays it's about cryptocurrencies and NFTs, etc. So it's pretty volatile. So you can win something, you can lose something, but make sure that you take calculated risks. At least that's what I feel is really important. So do not consider your emotions. If you lose something, of course, it's fine. It's all part of the game. But at the same time, you need to make some money in the long run, right? That's more important. So make sure that you understand the trend, do your homework, and it's always not going to be, win-win. Even if there's loss, there's a lot to learn from it. Why there's a loss, why did it happen? Make sure that it doesn't happen again. So he clearly mentions that do not mix money, especially any decisions about money, with your emotions. So might not be a very good combo. So with this, I think I would also really recommend to read full book, especially if you're more into psychology, especially you want to have mastery over your thoughts, and especially the way you think and what governs the thoughts and how you react the actions, and especially if you want to improve your emotional intelligence and EQ, this book is a wonderful read. So I feel it was pretty informative, and apologize if I probably included a lot of terms which might be a little overwhelming, like the parts of the brain and a little bit linking to the science, but I think I didn't go a little bit deeper. But yeah, hopefully I'll try to be more interesting in next videos. And yeah, with that, have a good day, everyone, and thanks for your time. Once again, feel free to let me know if you need, more depth analysis or comments in any other book, this book, or if you want to make any changes, if you feel that there's something off, please feel free to comment. And yeah, otherwise, have a wonderful day. See you next time.